Stay with us.
KITV4 Island Weather, sponsored by Kapili Roofing and Painting.
Protect your home from Hawaii's next severe weather event with a new roof from Kapili Roofing. Local, family-owned Kapili Roofing has been providing peace of mind one roof at a time for over a decade. From small repairs to large commercial re-roofing projects, Kapili Roofing has the knowledge and experience to install a roof you can count on for years. Ask about our GAF Master Elite warranty and how you can earn up to 40,000 Hawaiian Air miles with a new roof.
Kapili Roofing, building peace of mind, one roof at a time.
This isn't your typical runaway bride scene.
It's an Nissan sales event ad.
Now that's something I can commit to. This RAV4 doesn't even have as many standard safety features as this Rogue.
Hurry in for a low $199 per month lease on the 2021 Sentra.
Love may be forever, but these offers are not.
I used to drive an ambulance as an EMT, and I've always tried to be a safe driver. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. In my car, if I see a truck or bus taking a turn, I know to take my time. When big vehicles turn right, they may swing wide to make the turn. If you try to sneak in, well, it's a lesson you'd rather not learn the hard way. When trucks and buses turn, let's you and I wait. It's our roads, it's our safety.
Hi, I'm Dr. Oz. Did you know that while your windshield does a good job of protecting you from the harmful UV light, car door windows are less dependable for blocking out rays tied to skin cancer? Because drivers have their left side exposed to sunlight, it's a good idea to use a broad-spectrum sunscreen with a minimum of 30 SPF when driving in sunny Hawaii.
Hydrate and protect your skin from the sun with a Vino Protect and Hydrate sunscreen. This lightweight, broad-spectrum lotion protects and provides all-day hydration.
This is KITV4 Island News, what you need to know. Now, from KITV4 Island News, this is Good Morning Hawaii.
Is my protector in every sense. I would like to be hopeful. I hope to believe in a miracle, but I do not believe that I will be hopeful of finding my son alive.
Right now on Good Morning Hawaii, rescue teams in Florida desperately searching for dozens of people, including a Hawaii Preparatory Academy alumnus following the deadly building collapse near Miami Beach. This morning, the plea from his parents. Plus, Honolulu police bust another illegal gambling room in an Oahu community. We'll tell you what officers found and who was arrested.
And in the heart of legal gambling in Las Vegas, everything is back open nearly a month after restrictions were lifted. We're going to show you how Vegas is reopening and welcoming tourists back to gamble. And Good Morning Hawaii, I am Tom George. We are coming to you live from the California Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas this morning.
Aloha, good to see you, Tom. I'm Annalisa Burgos from the KITV4 studio in Honolulu. Tom will be sharing Hawaii stories over on the 9th Island. We'll get to those in just a bit. But first, let's get to our top story out in Florida. At least 4 people are dead and 159 others remain unaccounted for after a residential building collapse earlier this week. Now, this morning, search and rescue teams continue their race to find survivors. We're learning that a graduate of Hawaii Preparatory Academy on the Big Island has been reported missing in that Miami building collapse. According to his parents, 21-year-old Ilan Naibrif has not been heard from since Wednesday morning. His parents, Ronit Felser and Carlos Naibrif, told CNN that Ilan and his girlfriend were staying in that condo while attending a funeral in the area. His parents say that they're anxious, afraid, but remain hopeful.
We're anxious, we're frustrated, we're angry, we're hopeful, we have faith, but it's difficult. It's very difficult. He was at the university, or is at the University of Chicago, a physics major, due to graduate next summer, next May 2022. President of the Chicago Chabad a loyal friend, a passionate, good, kind, generous young man.
He was loved by all of his friends in Hawaii. He went to a boarding school in Hawaii. Then he started in Chicago 3 years ago. He was going to sleep home.
Carlos Nybrief says that he was supposed to come home before the collapse, but they decided to stay the night in Surfside. Now, while crews continue to search through the rubble, investigators are looking into what caused the catastrophe, and the debris could be the key in finding those answers.
You have to look at the design of the building. You have to look at the engineering calculations. You have to look at the quality of the construction. But I think in the end, maintenance is probably going to play a significant role in this.
A 2018 structural report just released by the town of Surfside shows evidence of cracking and flooding in the building. This morning, Miami-Dade County Mayor Daniela Levine Cava called for an audit of every building in the area that is over 40 years old and is encouraging other municipalities to do the same. Mayor Cava also confirmed that there is another building around the same age and made by the same developer about a block away. Florida Governor building. Now to the growing concerns about the COVID-19 Delta variant as more cases are being reported across the country, including here in the islands. ABC's Elwin Lopez reports the head of the World Health Organization is calling it the most transmissible of the variants identified so far.
FDA is adding a warning about those rare cases of heart inflammation linked to the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines. Here at the CDC, they say that the majority have recovered quickly, adding that the benefits of the shots far outweigh the risk. But this news comes as vaccinations lag across the country, down 75% since April. That's concerning for health officials as the Delta variant continues to double every 2 weeks, now detected in all but one state, fueling hospitalizations in pockets with low vaccination rates. In Missouri, cases are rising at the highest number of COVID-19 patients since the first week of March. And it's not just here in the U.S. Israel is masking up again after lifting its indoor mask mandate. Coronavirus cases there spiking, the outbreak driven by that more contagious strain. Now, the World Health Organization has labeled Delta as the most transmissible variant identified so far, adding that new ones are expected to come as the virus evolves.
Here at home, the Hawaii Department of Health reports 9 new cases of the Delta variant. The DOH says the more contagious strain of COVID-19 has been detected in all counties of Hawaii. There have been 13 reported cases. To date, 9 cases have been detected on Oahu, 2 on Maui, and 1 case each on Kauai and the Big Island. Well, as of Friday, the state reports 48 new and probable cases of COVID-19, 28 on Oahu, 9 on Maui, 2 on both Hawaii Island and Kauai, and 7 residents were diagnosed outside the state. Another resident diagnosed with COVID-19 has died, raising the death toll to 514. 601 cases are presumed active. The Hawaii Department of Health confirms 70% of the Pineapple Isles population is now fully vaccinated against COVID-19. The Health Department's Disease Outbreak Control Division shows Lanai is 70.1%, making it the first island to reach that rate in the state. More than 2,700 people live on the island. About 81% of the population has received 1 dose of the vaccine. DOH says 70% of a population needs to be protected from a virus to reach herd immunity, which would make spread less likely. And to date, more than 57% of residents have been fully vaccinated in the state, while 62% have received 1 dose. So far, more than 1.6 million doses have been administered in Hawaii. The World Health Organization is urging everyone to continue to wear masks to prevent community spread of COVID-19. The Assistant Director General of the WHO says the vaccine alone won't stop the spread of the virus.
We'll need to continue to use masks consistently, be in ventilated spaces, hand hygiene, respiratory etiquette, everything, the physical distance, avoid crowding. This still continues to be extremely important, even if you're vaccinated, when you have a community transmission ongoing.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has not responded to WHO's warning. And turning now to your weekend forecast, beautiful look outside here at Honolulu. Let's head over to Maui to check on the conditions with our resident meteorologist, Malika Dudley. Good morning, Malika.
Good morning, Annalisa. Good morning, everyone. Well, here in the upcountry Maui area, it's beautiful. We've got blue skies. When I look up towards the mountain, when I look Mauka, I do see more clouds, however. And today we have light, calm winds here in the upcountry Maui area. It's 62 degrees right now. The temperature that you will feel, especially as we get on later in the day, is going to feel much warmer than what the thermometer shows you. And that's because of this. So let's take a look at the big picture. High pressure is far off to the northeast, but there's a stalling cold front. It's about 400 miles north of Kauai. And what that is doing is it is cutting off our winds. So hot and humid conditions are likely today. Zooming in for a closer look at our wind direction. Right now, we have a southeasterly element to our winds when we look at the islands of Hawaii and Maui County. When we look at Oahu and Kauai County, however, we see a little bit of a northeasterly or more easterly direction to our winds. So since our clouds move along with our wind flow, that means our quote-unquote windward and Mauka areas are also variable across the state. So for the Big Island and parts of Maui County, those slopes and shores are southeast. For Oahu and Kauai County, more easterly, although we don't see much in the way of upstream cloud cover for the northern end of the state at this time, and radar reflects that with some pockets of showers moving into the backside of Haleakala and along that Punalu'u, Na'alehu, Pahala area. Looks like most of that has dried up, and as we get on into the day, we will see more sunshine. But for those leeward areas, the sea breeze could kick up, and we could see clouds building in those areas, especially for the Kona side of the Big Island. And I'll have your 8-day forecast coming up a little later. Now back over to Annalisa.
Thanks, Malika. Now we saw, of course, the Pacific Ocean over there, and we've been taught that the Earth has 3 more oceans, Atlantic, Indian, and Arctic, until now. Coming up on Good Morning Hawaii, why the National Geographic wants to add a 5th ocean to the map.
Plus, we are continuing our live coverage from here on the 9th Island. We've been out and about sharing stories out in the community. Coming up, we're also going to show you the secret behind one of the most popular Hawaii specialties here at the Cal. The lines are out the door for oxtail soup. We'll show you the secret behind it. Those stories and more coming up. Don't go away. You're watching Good Morning Hawaii.
Lease the 2021 Acura TLX for $369 a month for well-qualified customers. Visit your local Acura dealer today.
Trilogy for COPD.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn.
If you've been taking COPD sitting down, it's time to make a stand. Start a new day with Trilogy. No once-daily COPD medicine has the power to treat COPD in as many ways as Trilogy. With 3 medicines in 1 inhaler, Trilogy helps people breathe easier and improves lung function. It also helps prevent future flare-ups. Trilogy won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. Do not take Trilogy more than prescribed. Trilogy may increase your risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsened breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain occur. Take a stand and start a new day with Trilogy. Ask your doctor about once daily Trilogy and save at Trilogy.com.
Sherry is married to Noah, whose cousin and realtor Emma is showing them the perfect home. But they have to move fast. So Sherry quickly uses FHB Digital Mortgage to get rates and estimated closing costs up front and realizes, we got this. So they could make their winning offer and easily complete their loan application. Current rates, estimated closing costs up front, and confidence from the support of a mortgage expert. At First Hawaiian Bank, it's all connected, and it all starts with yes.
Lease the 2021 Acura TLX for $369 a month for well-qualified customers. Visit your local Acura dealer today.
Good morning, Maui from Las Vegas.
some of our locals over there in Vegas. It's been almost a month since Las Vegas fully reopened to visitors, and it's full speed ahead. More Hawaii residents are flocking to the so-called 9th Island, including our very own Tom George, which is why he's not with me in the studio here in Honolulu. It's good to see you live with all those gambling machines behind you, Tom.
Yeah, and you know, it's still pretty early in the morning, Annalisa, but you know, it's a 24/7 town, and these Hawaii gamblers, they're dedicated. They're out here at all hours, and part of that is because a lot of people here are excited to just get back out there after a year of lockdown. Good morning, everybody. Tom George here. We are standing by at the Cal in downtown Las Vegas, and as we've been mentioning, as soon as those restrictions were lifted, we're seeing waves of people from across the country and right here in Hawaii making their for some of them, their first trip back in a year out here to the 9th Island. But, you know, as you come back, maybe for the first time, things do still look a little bit different, especially compared to Hawaii. So one of the main things you'll notice in Las Vegas is the restrictions are a lot different. It's pretty much like it was before the pandemic. Of course, in Hawaii, we still have those indoor mask requirements in place. And you go to the Cal, where there's a lot of people from Hawaii, you'll still see a lot of people still wearing the masks. But in Nevada, it's much different. It's pretty much like it was before the pandemic. They're pretty much on an honor system. Technically, you do need to wear a mask if you haven't been vaccinated, but there's really no enforcement. It's all on an honor system. You can walk around pretty much anywhere. And as a matter of fact, as soon as we rolled in, we took some video of Fremont Street, always pretty busy at night. This is what it looked like. You can see huge crowds. There was music playing, a lot of people out there pretty much not wearing any masks. And it's kind of the same deal when you go inside casinos. You'll see waiters and waitresses, cocktail waitresses, the hotel staff, they are still wearing masks. But in terms of the game tables, the slot machines, those are back to normal. The plexiglass is down, and as you just saw, a big crowd, and a lot of them, especially here from Hawaii. We actually caught up with a couple people that are here for their first trip back from Hawaii. They say this is something they've been waiting a long time for.
It's awesome to be back, yeah, and gamble, and
oh yeah,
yep, because she loves to gamble. My mom loves to gamble, so it's been wonderful. Yeah, she's been waiting for over a year.
There's nothing to worry about. You guys might as well just come. You guys got a lot of money, might as well spend it someplace, you know.
Yeah, love his attitude. Might as well spend it someplace, and a lot of people are spending it right here and on the Strip and all over Las Vegas. A lot of people excited to get back, but it's not all fun and games. Obviously, we're here for work. Some people here for fun, but Hawaii athletes are also making the trip back to Hawaii. And this is kind of a big deal because for the past year, everything was on lockdown, and so we're seeing a lot more high school athletes that would normally go on tour on the mainland trying to reach potential scouters. They were put at a disadvantage. So actually, when we checked into the Cal, we caught up with one family visiting from Maui. They said her name's Aijalyn Andahu, and her family from Maui. They're here in Las Vegas right now for a summer league. They say because Hawaii had those really strict travel rules all last year, they were only able to play against other Maui teams, while other people on the mainland didn't have those same restrictions and they could still play. So they say this put them at a disadvantage. So now she's spending her summer in Las Vegas and around the country making up for that lost time.
It's kind of at a disadvantage for Hawaii kids because we couldn't really travel, or like if we could, things were very restricted. And yeah, to me, I feel like I had to push myself more because like being a Hawaii kid, we have to like make ourselves stand out more than the others. So I just try to work my hardest and be the best person I can be.
Yeah, so and she is working hard. So they actually won her game yesterday, and they're into the next round today. So good luck to them. But definitely a big deal for those Hawaii athletes getting to come back and really do what they need to do to get into colleges and possibly get a scholarship too. So they're out traveling here in Vegas as well. But if you do come to Vegas, a lot of fun, especially here at the Cal. A big population. Most of the people on the floor, you see a lot of Aloha shirts, a lot of people from Hawaii. And there's really one specialty, if you've ever been to the Cal, that they're really known for, and that is oxtail soup. I actually didn't, even when I lived in Vegas, didn't really know it was a thing until I moved to Hawaii, but apparently this is one of the biggest spots in the country for it, and even during the pandemic, they made sure to stay open and make sure people could get their hands on that oxtail soup. I actually caught up with the chef behind it to share the secrets behind the success.
can go out and get your steaks and burgers and this, but oxtail, it's a Hawaiian favorite.
Chef Henry Jones with Redwood Steakhouse says before it's served up in these bowls, it's cooked in giant vats, and they're among the biggest buyers of oxtail in the country.
In the main kitchen, we do 500 pounds, no less than 500 every single day.
Along with the savory broth, veggies, and the rice on the side, what started as a special item quickly became a staple on the menu.
We thought it was just going to be a special for a day. You know, let's try it. Let's do this. Let's do this. So the next day led into the next, and here we are 35 years later, and it's one of our main dishes.
So I had to see what all the hype was about. Let's gotta waft it first. Let's take a bite here. Oh, it's like right on the bone too. Let's take the broth. From the broth to the signature oxtail meat, it was a winner. Just break it off. That is good. Take a beat. Yeah, and I gotta say, the lines were out the door at that place. Our photographer, Stu, was making fun of me because I didn't know that. I thought the meat would just fall off the bone. I was scraping it with my spoon, but once I was able to get in there, it was really good, Annalise. I don't know if you've ever tried it before.
Of course, we love oxtail soup. Not the one there, but it has to be fall off the bone, though, I would have to say. So, I don't know. I'm a little bit a harsher critic than you, Tom. But I know Zippy's was supposed to open also.
Well, I know you have high standards for it, but you have to deal. Yeah, so that's still in the works right now. You know, it was supposed to be last year, but that was kind of delayed during the pandemic. But they are looking at some options. There's going to be one kind of out in the suburbs, a bigger location, but then also possibly coming up maybe in some of the smaller places inside casinos. But that could be coming soon. But L&L is already all over the Las Vegas Valley. So, and of course, a lot of homemade Hawaiian restaurants as well. So definitely a big presence in the 9th Island. So good to see that. All right, well, we're going to continue our live coverage here from Las Vegas, as well as have your weather and some more stories. Don't go away. You're watching Good Morning Hawaii. We'll be right back.
KITV4 Island News, sponsored by Homeworld Furniture.
Celebrate 4th of July at Homeworld. We have furniture and decor for every room, style, and budget. Homeworld is Hawaii's one-stop destination for all things home. Save up to $500 on select qualifying purchases during our 4th of July sale. And take advantage of 12-month special financing. Shop online at homeworld.com or visit us in-store for professional insight to help design your dream home. This 4th of July, turn the home you've always imagined into the home you never want to leave at Homeworld.
Up here, success depends on the choices you make. But I know I've got this. And when it comes to controlling his type 2 diabetes, my dad's got this too.
With the right choices, you have it in you to control your A1C, and once-weekly Trulicity may help. Most people taking Trulicity reached an A1C under 7%, and it starts lowering blood sugar from the first dose by helping your body release the insulin it's already making. Trulicity is for type 2 diabetes. It isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. It's not approved for use in children. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it. You or your family have medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, changes in vision, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar risk. Side effects include nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, which can lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems. Show your world what's truly inside. Ask your doctor about once-weekly Trulicity.
If you are looking for property management services on Oahu, call Hawaii Pacific Property Management. We are a full-time, full-service, fully licensed property manager on Oahu, and we 100% guarantee our services in writing. Hi, I'm Duke Kim Han, broker and owner of Hawaii Pacific Property Management. If you are looking for property management services on Oahu, look us up on the web at hipacificpm.com, or you can give us a call at 445-9223. We'll look forward to seeing you soon. Aloha.
This is Good Morning Hawaii.
National Geographic, one of the world's most visible map-making groups, has officially decreed the existence of a fifth ocean, and they're calling it the Southern Ocean. It's the body of water that surrounds Antarctica. Now, usually changes to world maps are the result of political changes, but this is a rare example of a map maker making an effort to actually alter a map that a lot of us have grown up with. So, Malika, I think we have to start teaching our children Southern Ocean, but I think the Pacific is the most important. But I'm biased.
I am as well. Yes, the Pacific Ocean is my favorite. Yeah, that was my thought as well, that curriculum is going to have to change, right, if this takes hold. All right, well, let's get you to the current weather here in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. We have a stunning image here to show you of a fire in the sky. Look at this sunset from Jimmy Hep over here on Maui. Just gorgeous. Thank you for sending that in, Jimmy. Today, just a few showers for our windward and Mauka spots this morning. As I showed you in the last weather segment, windward areas are more southeasterly this morning for the southern end of the state. So that's where we're seeing most of our clouds and showers this morning. As the day goes on, we expect more sunshine and warm, muggy conditions this afternoon. Clouds could build for our more sheltered leeward areas and bring some isolated showers as well, especially for that Kona side of the Big Island in the upslope areas especially. And it's all because of our light and variable wind conditions. Here is our cloud and rain forecast model where you can see pretty dry and stable for today. As we move into tomorrow, we start to see more clouds and showers moving into our windward areas, and you see a marked shift in the wind direction. So that is what we are expecting over the next few days. A live look outside at Honolulu, gorgeous conditions, blue skies, lots of sunshine for the leeward side of Oahu. 75 degrees there right now with calm winds. So again, it's going to feel pretty warm out there, and our temperatures across the state are in the 60s and 70s right now. 66 for Wahiawa, 74 for Honolulu, 71 for Kahului, 77 in Kailua Kona, 72 for Hilo Town. Here in Pukalani, it's about 65 degrees. Current winds are in the single digits everywhere across the state, and I will have your 8-day forecast coming up in my next weather hit. Now let's head back to Annalisa.
Thanks, Malika. People across the country are reacting to former police officer Derek Chauvin's sentencing in the murder of George Floyd. Chauvin's sentenced to more than 22 years behind bars, speaking in the courtroom for the first time. ABC's Zachary Keish is in Minneapolis with that story.
The court commits you to the custody of the Commissioner of Corrections for a period of 270 months.
After more than a year in the legal justice system, the judge handing down his sentence of 22.5 years minus time served after these heartbreaking words from George Floyd's daughter, Gianna.
Do you wish that he was still here with us?
Yeah, but he is.
Through his spirit?
Yes.
If you could say anything to your daddy right now, what would it be?
It would be, I miss you and I love you.
As Derek Chauvin received his sentence, a small gathering at what has become known as George Floyd Square, the scene of the crime here in Minneapolis.
It's a temporary fix, but does the change last beyond a day? We want lasting change.
I want to acknowledge the deep and tremendous pain that all the families are feeling, especially the Floyd family. You have our sympathies.
A mix of grief and exhaustion as the family of George Floyd expressed their emptiness one more time.
I'm here on behalf of my family, on behalf of me and my family, we seek the maximum penalty. We don't want to see no more slaps on the wrist.
My family and I have been given a life sentence. We would never be able to get George back.
Chauvin, a former Minneapolis police officer, was found guilty on 3 counts. His sentencing hinged on the top charge, second-degree unintentional murder. Under Minnesota law, that charge can carry a sentence of up to 40 years. For the first time Friday, we heard briefly from Chauvin, who offered condolences to the family.
Briefly, though, I do want to give my condolences to the Floyd family. There's going to be some other information in the future that would be of interest, and I hope things will give you some some peace of mind.
And his mother.
My son is a good man.
Typically, Judge Cahill would follow the state sentencing guidelines, which call for only 10 to 15 years for this charge. But in this case, Cahill found aggravating factors, including that Chauvin abused his position as an authority figure, and that he treated Floyd with cruelty. Also, that there were children present at the scene.
What we're seeing here is so far from what we've seen from other law enforcement officers. This is a very big departure.
The Chauvin case is obviously a high watermark for making police accountable, and that's great, but it's just one case, and there's so much work to be done across the land.
If Chauvin serves his full sentence, he will be 67 years old when he's released. The reaction here in Minnesota was mixed, but certainly muted given what we've seen over the last year. In those emotional victim impact statements from the family really echoed this realization that no justice, no sentence can take away that hurt, that pain, and bring back the person that they've affectionately known as George. Zachary Quiche, ABC News, Minneapolis.
Lease the 2021 Acura TLX for $369 a month for well-qualified customers. Visit your local Acura dealer today.
Deciding whether to own or rent? Getting that part today, not tomorrow. And with the right support, it all adds up. You work hard and smart. Hawthorne Cat is ready to do the same. Hawthorne Cat has been your cat dealer for construction and power equipment in Hawaii for over 90 years. With stores on Oahu, Maui, Kauai, and the Big Island, we have everything you need for your job site. Call us today or go to hawthornecat.com for all your equipment needs.
You've been taking mental health meds and your mind is finally in a better place. Except now you have uncontrollable body movements called tardive dyskinesia, TD. And it can seem like that's all people see. Some meds for mental health can cause abnormal dopamine signaling in the brain. While how it works is not fully understood, Ingrezza is thought to reduce that signaling.
Ingrezza is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with TD movements in the face and body. People taking Ingrezza can stay on their current dose of most mental health meds. Don't take Ingrezza if you're allergic to any of its ingredients. Ingrezza may cause serious side effects, including sleepiness. Don't drive, operate heavy machinery, or do other dangerous activities until you know how Ingrezza affects you. Other serious side effects include potential heart rhythm problems and abnormal movements.
Shift the focus more on you. Ask your doctor about Ingrezza. It's simple. One pill, once daily. #1 prescribed for TD. Learn how you could pay as little as $0 at Ingrezza.com.
Lease the 2021 Acura TLX for $369 a month for well-qualified customers. Visit your local Acura dealer today.
Now, from KITV4 Island News, this is Good Morning Hawaii.
Aloha kakahiaka. The time now, 7:30 a.m. Happy Saturday. I'm Annalisa Burgos. My co-anchor Tom George is currently anchoring live from the 9th Island, and we'll check in with him in just a little bit. But first, let's get you right outside, taking a live look at Honolulu on the left, Hilo Bay on the Big Island on the right. And of course, we are representing all the islands. So let's head over to Maui with meteorologist Malika Dudley with the latest on your weather this weekend. Good morning, Malika.
Good morning, Annalisa. Good morning, everyone. Yes, coming to you live from the Pukalani-Kula area of Maui. Here in the upcountry area, more sun, but also more clouds as the morning has gone on. And today we do have very calm winds. Right now, it's almost 70 degrees. I'm going to call it like 69 degrees here in this area. So taking a look at our weather headlines, here's what you need to know for today. So fairly stable conditions are in the forecast. Light winds are expected today. So hot and humid conditions with those light winds. Also, a land sea breeze pattern tends to take hold when we have light winds. So in the afternoons, the sea breeze comes in, brings us some clouds. They start to stack in those leeward areas, our interior areas, and sometimes squeeze out some showers. And at night, a land breeze takes hold and clears our skies. Transition day expected tomorrow. Trades will slowly build back in. We also see a northwest swell peaking today, so I'll have your detailed surf forecast in my next weather hit, and there are no weather alerts to speak of, so that's always great. Our forecast rainfall model is showing, reflecting basically what I just said, that land sea breeze pattern, where most of our rainfall today, according to this model, will be for leeward areas. You can see about 1/10 of an inch for Kailua Kona as well as Lanai City over on the leeward side of those islands. Our forecast winds are in the single digits, and then they start to shift, and you can see them getting into the teens as we move into tomorrow. So again, that slow, gradual rise of our winds over the next few days. By Tuesday, Wednesday, we should see winds in the breezy range at about 15 to 20 miles per hour and out of that cooler east or northeasterly direction. So we'll keep an eye on the situation, of course, and bring you the latest. Now, let's head back over to you.
Thanks, Malika. Back to that breaking news that we brought you at the top of the hour. A graduate of Hawaii Preparatory Academy on the Big Island is among the dozens of people missing in the Surfside building collapse near Miami, Florida. According to his parents, 21-year-old Ilan Naibrif has not been heard from since Wednesday morning. And Hawaii Preparatory Academy just released a statement to KITV4 saying Hawaii Preparatory Academy shares the hope that Ilan Naibrif and his girlfriend will be located soon. We have been in touch with Ilan's mother, Ronit Felser, who is also an HPA graduate from the class of '87, and are offering counseling to our HPA community to assist in understanding this tragedy. The HPA Ohana sends our sincere aloha and thoughts to both Ilan and his girlfriend's family and friends. Coronavirus news now. Another person diagnosed with COVID-19 has died, raising the state's death toll to 514. According to the Department of Health, it was a Big Island woman in her 50s who was hospitalized with underlying health conditions. The state also reported 48 new cases. There's the breakdown: 28 on Oahu, 9 on Maui, 2 on Hawaii Island, 2 on Kauai, and 7 residents diagnosed out of state. 601 cases are presumed active. The state's inching towards its goal of vaccinating 70% of the population. DOH reports nearly 4,000 people received a shot on Thursday. Right now, 57.2% of all Hawaii residents are fully vaccinated. About 54% of all inmates in Hawaii have been fully vaccinated. According to a point-in-time study released by the Department of Public Safety, state prisons had higher vaccination rates than jails. The data is based on inmates who were incarcerated on June 21st. And here's a breakdown of the rates at different facilities. The Kulani Correctional Facility on Hawaii Island had the highest percentage, with nearly 90% of its population fully vaccinated. The lowest vaccination rate also reported on Hawaii Island at the Hawaii Community Correctional Center. Only 23% of that population has been fully inoculated. HCCC is also a current hotspot for COVID-19 cases. The health department reports more than 270 cases are linked to this cluster. 51 of them are active. And the state is investigating a cluster of at least 11 cases connected to a church on the Garden Isle. Earlier this month, 2 unrelated mainland visitors who attended services at the same location on the same day tested positive. 9 more cases were identified. 1 was hospitalized. None of them were vaccinated. I asked Hawaii District Health Officer Dr. Janet Berriman if this latest cluster is sparking concerns ahead of more COVID restrictions being lifted.
Almost all of our cases have been travel related directly or indirectly for almost all of the pandemic. There have been some differences in that, and recently it's mostly residents. But we do know that as an island state and an island county, travel poses a risk. I think when we think about lifting the restrictions on travel, we have to recognize that the restriction is being lifted for people who are fully vaccinated. So that's the safest group of people that can come here. So if we're going to have visitors, which we need to have for our economic well-being, for people to have jobs and housing and food and all of that, the visitors we should be most welcoming are those who pose the least risk to us, and those are the people who are fully vaccinated. That's an even higher level of protection than people who've been tested.
There's kind of these rumors that the churches kind of promote misconceptions about the vaccine, that sometimes they may not even encourage their congregations to get vaccinated. So can you kind of give us your insight as to, when you work with churches and try to talk about, education?
Right. So we've certainly heard those rumors as well. And the faith-based community is one that we're trying to work with very closely. Some have been more receptive than others. This is the only such cluster that we've had on Kauai. So in this case, I can say that the church leadership themselves have been vaccinated. They are working with us to provide vaccination on site to members of their congregation after all of the isolation and quarantine periods are finished. They have said that there are members of their congregation who don't want to be vaccinated. And I think that's true in any circle that we're in, that there are people who don't want to be vaccinated. And we're working with several other faith leaders on Kauai to bring vaccination to their parishioners, at a time and place and day that works for them. So, some people move more quickly toward making the vaccine decision and others move more slowly. But I think that we are seeing, increasing levels of collaboration and interest, as we should be.
And we've seen church clusters in other neighbor islands, here in Oahu, or several, but it may not be so high profile. Maui was, I think, the most high profile with King Cathedral, and it was named because they felt there was some threat there. Why are you deciding not to name this particular facility?
Well, really, the decision would be to name a facility, and our general practice is not to name a facility, whether it's a place of business or a restaurant or a recreational place or a faith-based place. The only reason we name a facility is if we aren't confident that we have a way to notify the people who may have been put at risk. Our interest is not in placing blame or causing shame, but in getting the information to the people who may be at risk, who need to know.
We've always been concerned about resources there. And the reminder that social gatherings like this, no matter what you do, no matter how careful you are, there's still that risk and the variants, ongoing risks. I mean, how do you kind of explain this to everyone that you talk to about these risks and the balancing and all of this?
Well, it's probably too long a conversation for this, but we are always balancing risks. And so we know that, as I said, employment and the economy are really important for people's health and well-being when we think about health holistically in terms of mentally and everything else. So it's not really a health or economic decision. It's how do we balance both of those together. And related to travel, it's not just tourists and visitors who pose a risk to our communities from travel. It's also we ourselves, our residents, who travel and come home. And so it's important to remember that we can in some ways pose a bigger risk, because when we come home, we aren't just staying in a hotel room and, going to the tourist sites. We're going to work and to school and living often in crowded households with our families and exposing a lot more people. But the good news is that the vaccines are highly, highly effective against all of the variants. They are not 100%. There is a small chance that people who are vaccinated can still become sick, but even those who become sick are still protected against severe disease and hospitalization and death, and are also much, much less likely to spread disease to others. So for the people who are worried, the single best thing you can do is be sure that you are vaccinated and that those around you are vaccinated.
And Dr. Berriman says church leaders are cooperating with health officials on contact tracing. 300 families in the congregation have been informed of possible exposure and are being asked to test and self-isolate or quarantine. Hawaii Pacific Health is administering shots at the Honolulu Zoo today between 10 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon. And anyone who receives a dose today will get free admission into the zoo. It's also opening a clinic at the Aloha Stadium swap meet tomorrow. That's between 8 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon. Kaiser Permanente is also hosting a Pfizer clinic at Nu'uanu YMCA this morning from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And we have more information on those clinics as well as other vaccination sites on our website, KITV.com. And all morning, we've been talking with Tom George, who's been hanging out in Las Vegas this week. I'm so jealous of you, Tom. You've got oxtail soup, hanging with Hawaii residents on vacation. Have you actually gotten some gambling in?
I'll have to put maybe 100 on black or something after the live shot. But yeah, it is full steam ahead here in Las Vegas. And of course, even within the 9th Island, downtown is really the core of where people from Hawaii love to hang out, especially the Cal. Coming up after the break, we're going to be talking with the GM of Boyd Properties to talk about what you can expect for some of the biggest weekends this fall, like UNLV UH, and what you can expect at some of your favorite resorts. That interview coming up after the break. Don't go away. You're watching Good Morning Hawaii.
To remember a time where I wasn't experiencing the abuse. We talk about how everyone's family in Hawaii.
Often it is someone that they know, someone that they love, either a family member, a friend of the family, a teacher.
Sometimes when you disclose, you don't want them to help you right away. You just want somebody to talk to.
There are people that you can talk to, caring people, compassionate people. So there is support there when you're ready, as scary as it is.
I guess I'm an artist. I sing and I paint. The staff here is the crux of the whole organization. Everybody seems to be concerned about how the resident is doing. This place is Ho'omaikai. I love it. I tell people that we're blessed to be here.
This isn't your typical runaway bride scene. It's a Nissan sales event ad. Now that's something I can commit to. His RAV4 doesn't even have as many standard safety features as this Rogue.
Hurry in for a low $219 per month lease on the 2021 Rogue.
Love may be forever, but these offers are not.
You've been working hard at your job or making ends meet without one. Now, things are finally changing, and there are reasons to be hopeful. Still, the road ahead is a long one. Perseverance is our new normal. We will get there because of what we've learned, how we've grown, and we'll all be better for it.
This is Good Morning Hawaii.
Good morning, Hawaii. Good morning from Las Vegas. We are live at the California Hotel and Casino in downtown Las Vegas, and there's a lot of action going on here. A lot of people, especially from Hawaii, are out here. Many of them enjoying their first trip out here, gambling on the 9th Island for the first time since we've been under lockdown. And if it's been a while since you've been back, a lot has changed. Of course, the Raiders, the big news right now. Of course, the stadium ready to go. Allegiant Stadium is all set up. So starting this fall, there's going to be some big games happening there. A lot of Hawaii people also expected on November 13th. That's when the big showdown is going to happen between UNLV and UH. So some big news going on there with the stadium back open 100%. Resorts World also just opening this week. This is the first ground-up casino on the Strip in a decade. So a really big presence there on the Strip, kind of an Asian-themed multi-part casino there, all high-tech, all brand new. That one's getting a lot of attention this week. And back here downtown, if you haven't been back, Circa also popping up downtown, adding to the skyline of downtown. So really a lot going on here on the 9th Island. And people from Hawaii and across the country have already been pouring in. Of course, as we mentioned, we are here at the Cal, a Boyd property. Boyd synonymous with Hawaii, and we're already seeing a lot more people rolling in. And so we want to kind of get the inside scoop about what's going on at some of your favorite properties. So joining us this morning, we have the man himself, Andre Filosi. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Aloha, good morning, and welcome to the Cal, Hawaii's home away from home.
And so, you couldn't be a GM for Boy without showing up with the Aloha shirt today.
Absolutely. Been with the company 35 years, and we go back to our relationship with the islands going back 45 years since we started.
Yeah, and we got in Wednesday, and there were just so many people. They're like, hey, you're from KITV4, I'm from Hawaii. A lot of people rolling back in. What are you actually seeing in terms of numbers since you guys reopened? Is it picking up again?
Sure, it's growing like a ramp going this way. It's exponentially. As your governor has released restrictions and people no longer need to take that pre-COVID test to go back home. Our phones are ringing off the hook. We're just making reservation after reservation.
And heading into the summer, anything numbers-wise about capacity or anything like that?
So we're open, 100% open, and Vacations Hawaii starts flying that first weekend in September, so I encourage everybody, if you want to go Vegas, make sure you call Vacations Hawaii, book your flights, and even before that, book through Hawaiian Airlines, but Vacations Hawaii can help you with that, so feel free to give them a call.
And you mentioned September 3rd for Vacations Hawaii, but another big event people are marking their calendar for is November 13th, right?
The Island Showdown, right. You play for the Pineapple and Go Bows. They've won the last couple years. But this year they'll be playing in Allegiant Stadium, which is absolutely beautiful. It's the hottest ticket in town. So again, call Vacations Hawaii, book for that game because the tickets are going so fast.
And so, everything's kind of reopening, and so kind of at the Boyd properties downtown, I know we're here at the Cal, but kind of what can we expect both here and the other properties? How are things looking?
Sure. So Main Street Station, not open yet. We're putting the plans together to open that. It'll be in the fall. But over at the Fremont, we're doing a complete room remodel over there. That property is 65 years old. We're celebrating our 65th year, but we've stripped the rooms down to the studs, all new plumbing. And so if you come anytime by the middle of July, you'll be in a brand new hotel room, and that project will be complete by the end of the year.
And I got to ask you, the buffets, is that still up in the air? And if it does come back, has the pandemic kind of changed the format of it at all?
Sure, that's something we're still talking about. We haven't made a final call on the buffet, whether to open that or not at Main Street Station. But as soon as we know, we'll let the whole world know.
So anything else new? I know we're seeing a lot more guests. What are you seeing in terms of just people coming in from Hawaii?
The folks that come in from Hawaii, they're still very respectful, making sure that they don't get sick. Even if they're fully vaccinated, you'll see many of our guests wearing their masks still. And our team members, if you see them without a mask, it means they've been fully vaccinated. But many of our team members still wear that mask, even though they're vaccinated, just to be extra careful.
And kind of, so what is the rule? Because, obviously people coming from Hawaii, we still have some of those stricter rules indoors, but, so if you're inside, what's the rule at the casino?
So the rule inside is if you are fully vaccinated, you do not need to wear a mask. If you're not vaccinated, you do need to wear a mask unless you're actively eating or drinking, but it's kind of on the honor system. So we just tell everybody to be careful, be safe, and we are open for business.
Yeah, and for a lot of people, there's this pent-up demand. Especially in Hawaii, we've been under lockdown for a year. Some people, this might be their first time back in a while. So what's kind of the biggest change people can expect to see?
So enhanced cleaning, we still are being very careful, but we're growing. It's exciting. There's no plastic. If you had been here before, you would have seen plastic on all of the table games and spacing. Now it's really pretty much like it was in the old days. If you come down to Fremont Street, they've got the live entertainment on the stages. In fact, they've got a free concert, their first free concert tonight, and it'll be really full. It'll be a lot of fun.
All right. Well, Andre, giving us the inside scoop, we appreciate it.
Absolutely. Aloha and mahalo.
Absolutely. And you came prepared with the shirt. Love to see it. All right. Well, as you heard, a lot going on at the Cal. A lot of people out here enjoying it. We're going to have much more from the 9th Island coming up. Don't go away. You're watching Good Morning Hawaii. We'll be right back.
Aloha and good morning, Hawaii. Here's a look at your KITV4 locations open houses that are happening this weekend. Let's head out to Pearl City and check out this 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, single family, single level home in Pacific Palisades. This home has a brand new coat of exterior paint and the lot is over 6,000 square feet. Located right on Amanu Street and close to city bus stops and community playgrounds, it's open this Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. with locations agent Corey Takata. Next, check out this single-family home in Nuuanu Valley. This 3-bedroom, 1-bath home is over 1,100 square feet and features a master bedroom with a built-in desk, professional security system, and a sunken flex room that can be used for work, exercise, or play. This 5,000 square foot lot also has a 2-car covered carport, proudly listed by locations agent Travis Magati and open this Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. And come and see the views from this 1-bedroom, 1-bath unit on the 36th floor of the Moana Pacific right in Kaka'ako. Sub-zero refrigerator, dishwasher, and washer-dryer in the unit. Plus, 1 covered parking stall and access to the amazing building amenities like heated pool, hot tub, gym, a putting green, and more. Stop by and say hi to locations agent Nicole Choi this Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. For more information on all the locations open houses happening this weekend, head to locationshawaii.com or download the only locally developed real estate app for your smartphone.
Paul Drew's Weekend Evenings. This is Good Morning Hawaii.
Aloha and welcome back to Good Morning Hawaii Weekends on KITV4 Island News. I'm meteorologist Malika Dudley coming to you live from upcountry Maui, where it is now 70 degrees. We've got sunshine. We do have some clouds as well, but I wanted to get you your surf forecast real quick. So no marine alerts to speak of. The map is completely clear. No small craft advisories, no high surf alerts, but that doesn't mean that we don't have any swells. In fact, a short period out of season northwest swell is forecast to peak today and keep wave heights above the summertime average for the next few days. We also have a series of south swells through the forecast period with a larger south swell possible late Tuesday and Wednesday. Here's a look at your current surf heights, or forecasted surf heights, I should say. For North Shores, we're looking at 5 to 7 foot faces. For West and South Shores, we are looking at 3 to 5 foot faces, 2 to 4 for our east sides. A bit smaller for the islands of Hawaii, a bit bigger for the islands of Kauai. Again, light and variable wind conditions, so it's going to be hot and humid out there. Good day to jump into the water, but be aware of the high tide. It's very fat at 2.5 at 5:56 p.m., so coastal flooding is possible, especially at that time. And your 8-day forecast showing that our winds are going to slowly creep up into the breezy range. Hopefully by Tuesday or Wednesday, we're looking at winds out of the east at 15 to 20 miles per hour. And that's it for me this morning. So I had a little bird who wanted to say goodbye to Auntie Annalisa and to all the viewers at home. You want to say bye? Bye! So that's it for us over here on Maui, but we will be back right after the break with more from Oahu and Las Vegas.
This segment of KITV4 Island News is sponsored by Slumber World.
A good night's rest is right around the corner during our 4th of July sale. Slumber World has the best prices on top-rated mattress brands here in Hawaii. Save up to $1,000 and get 12 months financing on select qualifying purchases. And get up to 60 months special financing when you upgrade your bed with a Tempur-Pedic mattress. Plus, get your mattress fast with our free local delivery. And rest assured with our 120-night sleep trial. Discover better sleep at Slumber World, a Kama'aina family company, providing Hawaii the best value in sleep.
Lease the 2021 Acura TLX for $369 a month for well-qualified customers. Visit your local Acura dealer today.
We have always strived for excellence, a drive to rise above ordinary, to serve with the utmost care.
Aloha!
We surround ourselves in the trusted few who through the years become family.
Aloha!
Throughout our islands, these are our people.
We aspire to lead our industry through experience. This reliability is our promise to you.
Aloha Termite and Pest Control. Superior service with Aloha.
I've lost count of how many asthma attacks I've had, but my new normal with Nucala, fewer asthma attacks.
Nucala is a once-monthly add-on injection for severe eosinophilic asthma, not for sudden breathing problems. Allergic reactions can occur. Get help right away for swelling of face, mouth, tongue, or trouble breathing. Infections that can cause shingles have occurred. Don't stop steroids unless told by your doctor. Tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection. May cause headache, injection site reactions, back pain, and fatigue. Ask your doctor about Nucala.
Find your new normal with Nucala.
Lease the 2021 Acura TLX for $369 a month for well-qualified customers. Visit your local Acura dealer today.
And it's the last weekend of Pride Month, a time to recognize the contributions of the LGBTQ plus community. Honolulu Mayor Rick Bongiordi declared today Stonewall Caucus of the Democratic Party of Hawaii Day. And to honor the proclamation, the Stonewall Caucus is hosting a Zoom for Pride event at 7 tonight. It's a virtual dance party raising money for nonprofits that provide services to the LGBTQ community. And happy Pride, everyone. It's been an honor giving you the show this morning. Thanks for joining us. Our next newscast is tonight at 5. And of course, we have Tom over in Las Vegas reporting for us. And then we have, of course, Malika over on Maui with Bye Bye. Aloha, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Well, everybody from the 9th Island. Yeah, we'll have to do this multi-island thing.
With new extended hours at all 5 locations to serve you, there's no diner finer than Big City Diner, providing closed captioning for KITV4 Island News.
Allie, don't you drive an Elantra? I do, Sydney. But look at this 2021 Elantra, the North American Car of the Year. It's awesome.
So come to Tony Hyundai at our beautiful Autoplex and discover why so many people give our Hyundais 2 thumbs up.
Managing type 2 diabetes? You're on it. You may think you're doing all you can to manage type 2 diabetes and heart disease, but could your medication do more to lower your heart risk? Jardiance can reduce the risk of cardiovascular death for adults who also have known heart disease, so it could help save your life from a heart attack or stroke. And Jardiance lowers A1C.
Jardiance can cause serious side effects, including dehydration, genital yeast or urinary tract infections, and sudden kidney problems. Ketoacidosis is a serious side effect that may be fatal. A rare but life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop taking Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this bacterial infection, ketoacidosis, or an allergic reaction. And don't take it if you're on dialysis or have severe kidney problems. Taking Jardiance with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar.
Lower A1C and lower risk of a fatal heart attack?
On it with Jardiance.
We're committed to making Jardiance available and affordable.